Welcome to my freshly peeled oranges. We're going to be speaking about PulseX today. It's a very unique coin in the crypto ecosystems, especially PulseChain itself, because it has a unique feature about it. You see, in a nutshell, people who don't like PulseX are still forced to buy it without even knowing that they're buying it through the economic degen trading activity. Now, I want to start this by saying too, firstly, straighten your back. Secondly, I love HEX, both of them, EHEX and PHEX. I love PulseChain. I love PulseX. I love the lottery tickets. I love altcoins. Everything's got its role. I think this is a unique case for one of Richard Hart's coins. PulseX, PLSX, the buy and burn. Let's continue, friends. And this is Ralph getting a dose of PulseX right now. Woo! Now, look at this, man. PulseX has the most utility in the game. It does not need a DAO or extra staking functions. Originally, PulseX was thought to just be a governance coin. And the idea was to copy PancakeSwap, where whoever has the coin gets to vote on the projects that are allowed to entice you with rewards. Now, they were just gimmicks, and it didn't really do anything. It was just people participating in coins and then dumping the yield. Didn't do anything. And governance token, no one likes that because it basically means nothing, friends. It's like a vote, but no one really cares because everybody kind of like shares their vote to like the most powerful people. It doesn't really do anything for you, right? And we know voting's kind of like, nah, it doesn't really do anything. Voting only matters if it's concentrated, if you actually have power. But even then, you don't even really want to share power between 5 people, do you? So voting is only cool if you have got all the power. Now it's cool, but also it's dangerous in the wrong hands. But Richard, obviously with his captain's call decision, he's like, let's throw it away. We don't need that. Let's just give it the buy and burn. And people thought that was a downgrade. No, it's unique. Only think about it like this. Now, to remind you too, there is V1 PulseX and there's V2 PulseX. V1 has a bug where the buy and burn is like 3 or 4 times more powerful than it's meant to be. So it's buying it off the market. So 0.06% the market. So 0.06. So every time there's a trade that goes on, 0.3% is the fee. Okay, but of that, 0.06 is the buy and burn. So that's going to be equal to $60,000 of buy pressure whenever $100 million of volume gets done every day on PulseX. So the protocol is buying it up. And over time, your token gets more scarce. Now, by the time you see this, friends, I love watching this. This just keeps ticking up and up and up. Look on the bottom left. The bottom left here, PulseX. See this burn here? You can change it to show USD, $33 million. But the USD, it's going to move as the price of the coin moves up by the marginal point. But look at the gray line under it, 3.26%. I love seeing this. Like every day I wake up and it ticks up. I love seeing it tick up. Tick, 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 tick. That is PulseX being bought off the market. Buy, buy, buy. And if you see it's showing coins, you can kind of visualize it, right? Because now it's 668 billion PulseX. I remember when it was just 600 billion PulseX. So 68 billion PulseX is a big whale. A big whale's quantity has been chewed up over the last month. Automatically. No one extra pushed it. This is just the protocol doing it. This is what I love to see. And obviously, it's very controversial because people still don't get it. This is why it's really, really unique, friends. See, Pulse and HEX, they hand themselves out in inflation rewards. That's why everybody says, oh, you're just a useless coin. Bitcoin's useless because it hands itself out in inflation. Well, let me tell you something. Do you know what a government bond is? Do you know every government currency hands itself out in inflation? Do you know what the US Treasury is, friends? They say, hey, give us funds and then we'll give you the inflation rewards on this piece of poop currency. And they're like, hey, okay, give us money for 10 years and we'll give you 4.5% poop, which is printed of this poop. Everything works like that. Everything, friends. Everyone wants number go up, and I don't blame them. Okay? Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Now, Pulse and Hex, no different. But that's why, friends, you see, what Satoshi was able to give and show to the world is, even though these coins, these creations, blockchain, even though they're not meant to like exist on paper, they're not meant to have any value, but they do. See, people just say, at some point, I'm going to leave my US dollar value in here. I don't want anything out. I don't care. I'm in part of the community. And that's what happened. That's how Bitcoin and crypto has gone up over time. Now, why it's confusing is when we start adding the inflation reward out, mid-curvers, they don't get it. They think, well, you're useless. You're just handing yourself out. There's no use case. What you're doing is you're handing out an opportunity for other people to get a bigger share of the community. Now, of course, the mid-curves do have a point, though. They go, well, if everyone does it, no one wins, right? That's true, because not every community is valuable. For example, like if you could be like, president of the United States, you'd choose that. But would you like to also spend your time becoming president of the local library? Okay, so you know what I mean? Like in the local library, imagine you had like, okay, I'm going to give you 1 year to campaign. You say, well, I want to go become president. I'd rather much use my time there rather than trying to become president of the local library. Yeah? Now, but then some people say, wait a minute, this local library, yeah, you're not going to make it all the way, but I can convince people it's worth a lot. So there's opportunity everywhere, but you get the point. Okay, at some point you got to realize, not everything is going to be making it. You can't all make it. Not everything is going to be surviving long enough. You might have just wasted your whole year becoming president of the local library, because the library is closed down in 2 years. Okay, that's where we're coming from. Now, Pulse and Hex handing themselves out in inflation rewards, it's the same thing, right? But now you got a cult community. It's 140 content creators, 68 streamers. There's now the 20,000. I can't believe I'm saying that number, 20,000 daily active users. I remember when it was just 10,000. It's beautiful to see, rising up over time. Now, Hex hands itself out as inflation rewards, and the longer you stake, you get more inflation rewards. Pulse hands itself out in inflation rewards, and it's also deflationary. You need it for the gas use. But PulseX, there's no inflation reward handing out. There's just a Terminator, a buy-only Drunken Saylor, who's committed to going to these certain one DEX and saying, hey, whatever PulseX is on this supermarket shelf, I'm going to buy it. I don't care what price it is. That's what it's doing. It's a Drunken Saylor. It goes, hey, look at it. Show me this liquidity pool. Sweet, I'm buying it. I don't care what price it is. I have no biases. I don't care if it's a bull market or bear market. I don't care if the world's going up, down, left, right. I don't care if you forgot to eat your jelly beans. I'm going to keep buying. So that's also, it sounds good to do that, but you got, in the next bear market, friends, the volatility might be so bad on the downside. We're probably going to wish you had a treasury to deploy, but that's how you have the stock market, right? The Ponzi of the stock market. It's when things go too high, they cut the euphoria out. They keep raising rates, and then when it goes too low, then they try to save things. They try to dampen the volatility of that. But in crypto, we don't have that yet until we become a big part. So yeah, you can see the difference, right? Pulse and Hex are handing themselves out. PulseX isn't handing itself out. Net deflationary. But let's continue, right? Over 660 billion PulseX used to sit in the liquidity pool, but now they are chewed up and bought forever from the real activity on the DEX. It's exactly what I just showed you. Okay, now look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out. When Wallet DO1 paper hands out of his 220 million PHEX, it will require everyday retailers to manually go and demand HEX for buying in order to chew through his paper sell. So Wallet DO1, he had an enormous amount of PulseX. He had like 300 billion. He sold 200 billion PulseX at the low to go buy PHEX. He lost, we got the ratio totally right. We crushed it. We literally basically proved he's just like a fluke, doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, but good. Just keep rinsing yourself out. Now, when he dumps his PHEX, which he will, When he eventually dumps it and ruins the freaking price chart when it happens eventually later on, and it becomes a thorn in our side again, when he dumps it, the only way for it to get bought up, that PHEX on the market, so he's going to send the price down. The only way it gets bought up is other people come in and click buy. The only way they can chew it up. All right. But PulseX is different. You see, if you dumped the equivalent PulseX on the market, sure, it's nice if other people buy it, but you don't need other people to buy it directly, because the buy and burn from the whole casino will buy it up for you every day, as long as people keep trading and there's economic activity. So he dumps it on the market, and then every minute of the day just gets chewed. It keeps chewing it up over time. Okay, now obviously you'd want a lot of volume to happen so it happens faster, but isn't that beautiful to see? That's the bonus happening. Now imagine the chewing of the protocol with other humans buying it. Now you have the punch. That's literally an uppercut. Okay, so every other altcoin, volume cycle, and traders coming back and forth, they get taxed, right? That's their tax. Their tax is they're paying the liquidity provider, and that fee goes in to buy it. That's why you have these big giant, have this screenshot here, the big burning. That's what happens. So that's 665 billion PulseX, and now when you see this video, it's like even more. That used to sit in the liquidity pool. And if you had that in, then the price would be much, much lower. Like, that's insane. And if you did, right, if you actually look at how much that is, friends, I can actually show it to you, right? Look at this. You can see what 660 billion PulseX will do to the price. It's 50% lower. Now, that's obviously playing slippage here and there. It's not an exact 100% equivalent. But see, bang, that's crazy. So we would be half this price, okay? And I think these are big boosts to the fundamentals, just knowing this is in the background, you know? That's why, friends, when you visualize these things, like, oh, there's going to be a big crash. Yeah, but if there's just enough people launching projects, altcoins, meme coins, swapping things around, leverage trading back and forth, and leverage goes on, isn't it wonderful? These things work in the background. So you don't ever have to worry about, oh, is anybody going to buy my coin? Okay, but you've got to be devil's advocate as well. It's still possible, of course, because the liquidity is thin. Yeah, you could just get a whale, and then it spends a month chewing it up, and then another whale and spends a month chewing it up, and then another whale spends a month chewing it up. Yeah, you can get infinite sellers of anything. It's not like a be-all, end-all. But it's cool to know, isn't it? Now, PulseX, right? Its use case comes from the only real use case in crypto, which is asset swap trading activity. You know, trading, people in the casino, it is what it is. Asset swaps. That's what we're here for. That's what DEXs are. Funny enough, today the only things we swap are meme coins and speculative instruments. That's what we're mostly doing. Yeah, that's what everybody's speculating on future. Store of value. Is this community going to be around? That's what we're actually doing, you know. That's when we say speculative assets. And all these meme coins, I dressed it up. But if you get down to nuts and bolts, I know you like nuts. I'm a squirrel too. I hold my own nuts. But if you get down to nitty gritty, what we're speculating on is we're speculating on groups of people that have formed, and we're betting, are they going to increase and hold their attention? That's what we're betting. Most people aren't even betting about the holding and the attention part. They just see, oh, well, you know, I'm in a coin and someone else is going to shill it, so I'm just in because I don't know, right? And then as it grows, you're like, wait a minute, you know, I never thought we could get this many people. What do you guys see that I don't? And then the narrative starts forming, and now you have a longer drive. So it's really cool to know this, right? Here's a cool picture. Vroom, vroom. But the best part about PulseX is that it gets bought on the market even without people demanding the token itself. Isn't that is the definition of a utility coin? PulseX is the utility coin that you want. It's like it's a golden utility. It's a utility coin, which is what retailers want, and it also gets bought up by people, right? who don't know anything about the coin because it is being used by the casino. It's literally satisfies everything. It's deflationary and it gets chewed up by people who are participating because your utility is like the casino, right? You own the casino. It's like, isn't crypto a whole casino? Okay, sweet. That's the best use case, right? Crypto's a freaking casino. Well, it is what it is. Now, obviously, we're tongue in cheek. Crypto's not really just a casino. It's just that it looks like it because there's so many financial experiments going on. It's very hard for somebody with good consistency and strike rate to see, say, 50,000 people here and have an idea that they're going to be around in 5 years. Because you saw this with Phantom, BNB, chains go up, down, layer 2s, right? SafeMoon, or a lot of these things. Obviously, some of them become obvious. You're like, is SafeMoon really going to be around in 5 years? Like, you can kind of figure those ones out. But there are many coins, like Saylor, for example. You might tell me right now, hey, Saylor is going to be around in 5 years. You don't know that. You don't know anything. I don't know that either, right? So that's why it's tough. And they don't have 50,000 people, friends. They probably have like 500,000 people plus. They have many, many, many. If Ethereum has 10 million people, maybe Solana's got 1 million or so. Probably around 1 million. See, it's not so easy, is it? But that's where it's our job to figure out, all right, let's not think about where they're going to be around forever all the time. Now it's a bull market. Are there things just undervalued? Can you see growth coming in? And then you can figure out the rest yourself. And now I've highlighted the difference. The difference between, say, PulseX and any other coin, Pulse, HEX, PHEX, anything else, is all those coins need people to psychologically need to demand that coin for it to go up. But with PulseX, you don't even know what PulseX is. And you just trading and using the casino, you're buying it without knowing. I think that's beautiful, okay? So hopefully that compounds over time and ends up now. There's one missing piece of the puzzle. This is where Brandon, for example, would say, single-side staking, sir. I'll never hunch my back, sir. If PulseX gave yield, single-side staking. Look, here's the thing, man. It does already. I mean, you're in the Pulse and PulseX yield farm on PulseX yield farms. PLSX, like it's given like 10, 13% yield anyway. Like they're basically kind of the same. You know, the range of the thing, it really is staking already. But I know, I guess technically, friends, we don't want that impermanent little loss risk. We want single-side staking for itself. Yeah, I guess Richard could do it, and you can earn ink token. You could always set it up so that the burn is not 6 basis points. Right, because remember there is 1 basis point of the burn. So instead of 0.07, he did 6 goes to buying PulseX, but then that 1 unit is a no expectations wallet. So technically, you could set that wallet up so that that pool sends money to somewhere else, and everybody who stakes their PulseX grabs that PulseX. You could set that up. But you kind of like, yeah, you could. Or it goes and buys ink. I don't know. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of things. I'm not the captain, friends. Captain makes a call. It kind of figures out the best path. It's beautiful. It's basically, so you don't need that though. You don't need that. I know people want, I want deflation and I want number go up. You know, it doesn't really matter. As long as you get the idea behind this. That's why it's unique. It really is unique. Now, no, I knew when I was making videos about it last year, I was like, man, no one's listening because the green candles aren't here. Guess what? We're still 50% below day one sack. So no one's really going to pay attention to everything I'm saying until we flush up. Now, I'm praying we go 5x above day one sack. Please, 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 please. Another 10x for me. Please, please, please. Oh, everyone's going to go nuts if that happens. Because if we get there, do you want to know how much volume we're doing? We're doing 10x more volume, man. That's insane, friends. We're doing $500 million of volume per day. If you do the maths on that, that's like 400,000, I think. Probably like 80,000-ish of PulseX gets bought every day. So it's nuts, man. It's nuts. Sorry, with $500,000 of volume, you're doing $300,000 of PulseX gets bought every day. All right, with $500 million of volume. So if you do that for the month, $500 million of volume every day for a month, you got $9 million from the protocol. Not even you and me, just the protocol. $9 million of PulseX gets chewed up every month. I'm telling you, it's crazy what this thing can do. Because the whole thing, and here's the thing. You might not have a lot of PulseX. That's okay. I'm just telling you, PulseX is bonded with ink. It's bonded to HEX. HEX and PS is bonded to Pulse. So it is the heart of the casino. It's dragging everything up with the bonding. It's just that it gets the bulk of it because it's buying itself up, right? Because everything else has to go up through like a diluted bonding. But it's still getting dragged up. PulseX might be the dark horse that carries everything at this point, right? But I'm also kind of like weary because we just saw a poll. I think I saw a poll from Julia. And now, friends, you all saying PulseX was going to be the worst performer 4 months ago. Now the poll has flipped. Now it's #1 performer because it was just, you know what to do, friends. I am wearing a bull hat. None of this is financial advice. Let's just pray it works out. Catch you soon.